In this episode...
It wants you scared and running and pumping with adrenaline.
we welcome back good friends.
The trauma that Ruby went through, it is really cool to see how she's dealing with that.
It's very loud. It looks cool.
We reveal how to shoot a helicopter action sequence in just 3 hours.
That was exciting, wasn't it?
It has been a chore getting to know you.
Guest star Jonah Hauer-King reveals why he loves playing Conrad.
It's just really fun being horrible.
And spoiler alert, stand by for that exclusive clip from the next episode.
Welcome to Doctor Who Unleashed.
Welcome.
Hello.
To the insider's guide to all things Who. Today we're going to unlock Lucky Day, the 4th episode of Season 2. It's November 2023 and at Wolf Studios, the Who crew are shooting Lucky Day, back to back with episode 1 of the season, The Robot Revolution.
Action.
So whilst the Doctor and Belinda are dealing with retro robots on stage 3, on stage 1, we've got the return of a fellow partner in time.
I am Ruby Sunday. Actually, no, sorry, wrong way round. I'm Millie Gibson, and I play Ruby Sunday.
Ruby Sunday, the companion who stepped away from the TARDIS in the Season 1 finale, Empire of Death, to spend time with her newly extended family.
Will I ever see you again?
Of course you will. Of course you will.
So how does it feel to be back?
It's weird. I mean, it's such a nice growth with both me and my character because, you know, she's got a new look, she's got a family now, she's not with the Doctor anymore, which is really weird for her. So it's a whole new side of Ruby that I think we've not seen before, but it's been so cool to explore.
This is a script we always had planned. We knew when we left Ruby behind on Earth that that was not the end of. We love Millie, we love working with her, we love that character. We always planned that we would come back and we'd find out what happens to a companion after life with the Doctor has gone. And how vulnerable are you?
I think I'm in shock. Because what happened last year was just not normal.
But the episode is really interesting because it's dealing with like companion post-Doctor and like the PTSD that comes with traveling with an alien that travels through time and space and battles a lot of monsters.
I just need some time to get my head around it.
Even though Ruby is absolutely a survivor and is the hero of this in the end, you can't deny that once you've seen those vistas, once you've been to those planets, once you've seen death on that scale, once you've seen life on that scale, you are going to be in a state of shock. It's still a rich area to explore, like what's the psychological effect on someone who's traveled in time and space. You could explore that forever. We've actually done it very rarely. So this is an opportunity to take Millie and to explore that. I just think this can go on forever.
How was that, coming back to Ruby then, having said goodbye to her at the end of Series 1? You're now coming back to her, yeah.
We've just got such an instant chemistry. And very quickly we were like, we really are troubled together. We're not... we are at... It took us maybe 2 seconds for us to start breaking pieces of set and just being just general mischief makers.
Yeah.
And that was very fun.
Working with Shoot, you can just click back to your normal rhythm with each other, and that's what's so beautiful about working with him.
Hello?
Yeah, it was a breath of fresh air when I had that day with Shoot. It was like, oh my God, back to our old ways.
Cardiff City Centre, Friday the 24th of November 2023. Over the years, the city streets and landmarks have served as backdrops to countless adventures in time and space. Today, the Who crew are hard at work filming one of the episode's earliest scenes.
I know!
Looks like a big, important, serious meeting that they're having. They're probably asking what's for lunch.
I'm here to catch up with Jonah Hauer-King, who's playing love interest turned love rat conspiracy theorist Conrad. Most famous for playing Prince Eric in the live-action adaptation of Disney's The Little Mermaid, playing Conrad is a bit of a tone shift.
How pleased are you that you get to play a villain?
It's
Because
probably the biggest, maybe the single biggest reason why I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Because it's such a great character. It's so brilliantly written.
The grown-ups are talking!
I've played roles more like the nice version of Conrad.
Yeah.
I've sort of been there, done that. And when they sent it to me, they mentioned it was a villain role. And so I got excited and then started reading it and thought, have I
Hang
got,
on, what's
am I
this?
right? Is this the right script? Like, what's going on here? You know, you believe this relationship and you believe their love, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it has that amazing turn. And I was completely gripped.
What the hell is going on?
We are think tank, exposing the lies perpetuated by UNIT. By you.
And it's just really fun being horrible because, like, that's not how you should be all the time, obviously,
that's
ever.
a tagline for the rest of your
Exactly.
career.
It's great to be horrible.
It's really fun being horrible.
Yeah. And it's a challenge as well because
Yeah.
he is so far from me, I guess, and like how we would want to act. And
Yeah.
so going to that place is an acting challenge, and it's just, yeah, it's fun.
It has been a chore getting to know you.
With filming on the street complete, the Who crew flat pack the TARDIS and move on to the next location, giving me the chance to grab a chat with the writer of Lucky Day, Pete McTighe.
You've written for Doctor Who before. What's different this time around to the work on the previous series for you?
I guess it's just a very different energy. This is quite a Doctor-like episode, so for me that was really exciting actually, because some people would kind of go, "Oh, you don't."
Right,
have an
Doctor
episode-
Who, there's no
Yeah,
much
there's no
Doctor in it. Yeah.
But actually, it's kind of freeing to not have the Doctor because it's more dangerous. Straight away, if the Doctor's not around, the stakes are higher. Because,
Oh, right. I hadn't thought of it like that
yeah,
before.
yeah, he's not around to kind of rescue people. So
Yeah.
that's been the challenge and the kind of gift of this episode is being able to have an adventure without the Doctor where people are genuinely in more danger because he's not around.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, right. Let's go.
Time and the Doctor wait for no one, and Pete and I are ushered away to the next location, which might be somewhat familiar to watching Whovians. Department store, Central Cardiff, mannequins.
This is Howell's. This is a very famous location in Wales,
Yeah.
in Cardiff. And it's the corner of Howell's was the store that Billy Piper worked in episode 1, season 1.
Back in 2005, when the BBC and Russell T Davies brought back Doctor Who, the very first episode, Rose,
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
saw the Doctor, played by Christopher Eccleston, and his new companion, Rose, played by Billy Piper, come face to face with classic Doctor Who baddies, the Autons. 2 decades later, director Peter couldn't resist some sly nods to the past.
Do you like playing with audience expectations?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a massive fan. I've been a fan since I was about 4. We were in a shop. It felt like, why are we not putting mannequins into this shop? I love it. I mean, they're just the creepiest things ever. And especially if you see, like, the shadows. And I think we're going to have one rocking. It's just going to let go.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So.
The last scene of the day in the old department store puts Jonah in a rather sticky situation.
I thought they would have just like mixed it up in a random little pot, but
Yeah.
Doctor Who being Doctor Who, it's a whole process, and they went away. They made this specifically, and it's come in a pot called Shriek Secretion.
Love it.
Which is brilliant.
See? Told you.
Oh, okay. That's easy. That right.
This is Shriek Secretion in all its glory.
Very delicate work, this, isn't it? You're not just slopping it on.
No, not just slapping it on. Just.
What about gloopy it is?
Yeah, it's got a bit of glitter in it as well. So.
It has, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could be all the rage.
It could be.
Starting a new trend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's definitely vaguely artistic in some way.
Shriek Secretion.
Shriek Secretion.
Amazing.
Get to know. Yeah.
Still to come on Doctor Who Unleashed. I'm moving like the clappers on my work experience.
We're about to go for a take.
This thing shrieks havoc on set. And spoiler alert, we've got an exclusive sneak peek at the next episode of Doctor Who. But first, also returning for the first time this season, UNIT, led by Kate Lethbridge-Stewart.
We're on our way. Divert the nearest ground crew to Colston Village. We'll take the helicopter.
And what an entrance they make, swooping in to rescue Ruby, Conrad and the local residents from a pair of bloodthirsty Shriek.
Kate, there's 2 of them at least.
Shot over 3 nights in the South Wales village of Newton, a small army of cast, crew and supporting artists set up camp at the location.
That is the keys for the schoolroom. I've got the keys to the church. Lovely church is behind you. Then I've also got the keys for the pub over there. Security has got the keys for this pub. It's just there's so many moving parts here, and yeah, we are so spread out as well. So it's been a fun one, and we've got ridiculous road closures, and it's been really interesting talking to people in the village because they're really excited and want to know how much prep goes into all of this. But it wasn't until I sat down the other day and realised per block we have an allocated budget for 6 weeks, and we spent 2/3 of that budget on 3 nights filming here. So it just gives you an idea of quite how much we've got going on. But it's great fun.
And the centrepiece of all the fun will see units Kate Lethbridge-Stewart, Shirley Ann Bingham and Colonel Ibrahim land on the village green in a helicopter.
Right, okay guys, start locking down please. In your positions, thank you. Locking down.
When the rotor blades are spinning, we can't move. So basically everyone clears back. We've got a very useful village green wall and everyone stays behind it, and then this thing can come and go as it pleases while that's happening, and we have to wait for the rotor blades to fully stop before we can move.
The Who crew have got 3 hours to capture 3 shots. Shot number 1, a simple takeoff and landing. Shot number 2, a bit more risky, with a camera operator filming out of the open cargo door. But it's shot number 3 that everyone's most eagerly anticipating. The moment when Kate and Unit walk away from the helicopter.
Sam and Peter, Micah, if you can be with the cameras, make sure you're letting us know when they're up and running. Dev, I know you're getting Shriek ready, but if you can stick with the cast as well, please. Charlotte and Ash, just spread out. That'd be amazing, thank you.
That was exciting, wasn't it? And this time we weren't in it.
Oh, no,
But no, we had this conversation. No, both of us were quite frightened of it.
Helicopters aren't for me, and I'm not for helicopters. But that was very cool.
It was a very cool shot and a really cool entrance for Unit, I think. Yeah, I might take it home. What's next?
What, stepping out of a helicopter and walking down the street next to one of the most beautiful churchyards under a full moon. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That'll do.
We'll take that.
In past episodes of Doctor Who, real-life presenters and their shows have crossed over into the Whoniverse. Trisha Goddard appeared in Army of Ghosts.
You are in love with a ghost.
BBC Breakfast presenters Bill Turnbull and Sian Williams interviewed Charles Dickens in The Wedding of River Song.
Oh, we love a ghost story.
Newsnight's Emily Maitlis appeared in Revolution of the Daleks.
You took a big risk.
And in this episode, The One Show and Alex Jones join the canon. Although for Jonah, who's appeared on The One Show numerous times as himself, sitting on the famous sofa as his character Conrad is a bit discombobulating.
I've been trying to explain it to people and they haven't really been able to get their head around it. I think I said, I'm doing The One Show as my character. They said, are they like putting it out live? Is this some kind of like weird stunt as like, promotion? I said, no, it's in the show, it's not live, and I'm kind of now getting myself confused. But yes, he's my character is doing the media rounds, and obviously doing stuff like this gives it that level of authenticity, and it is kind of meta because obviously it's BBC and we're on the BBC and it's all kind of like breaking the fourth wall a bit. So yeah, it's sort of a funny feel because we're like a skeleton crew today. The main unit are on back in Cardiff, and we've sort of scuttled away here. We've got Vicky, our producer, we've got Russell over there in the back, he's hiding somewhere in a yellow coat, and it's kind of like a school trip. It's really fun. It sort of doesn't feel like a normal filming work day. It feels like the rules seem a bit different. It's all more relaxed and chilled. It's quite fun. 5, 4, 3.
You took a big risk. We can see on the video that our soldiers literally pointing their guns at you.
That's how they suppress us, with fear. Meanwhile, they're working against us.
When Doctor Who said that they'd like to film here, I was super excited. I mean, it is absolutely iconic. It's been around forever, even before me, which it's hard to find those items these days. But I was so excited that they wanted to film at the One Show studio. And we've had lots of shows filming here and myself playing myself. But this is by far the most exciting one.
It's an absolute moment.
Come on.
Mum said.
I know. Yes, it's like.
The only time you lose your drama degree. All that money Alan we paid.
She's cruel, your mother.
I know she is.
She's an awful woman. She never leaves me alone.
But
Get my daughter on Doctor Who, she said.
yeah, get her on Doctor Who. Let's use the money we paid. No, but thank you. It is really special.
School trip over, it's back on the bus up to Cardiff. Right, it's that time of the episode now where I stop prancing around being a presenter, I roll up my sleeves and get on with some hard graft. Yes, it's work experience time. Now, previously on Doctor Who Unleashed, I spent some time with Kutsai doing work experience as a camera trainee, and I think we can all agree that that went really rather well.
It's shocking. This is unbelievable.
So given that, the camera department have agreed that I can go back. But this time, we're going to step it up a level. Today, I'm going to be working alongside Evangeline and Sarah, who are both clapper loaders. Having worked their way up from camera trainee, their job is the next step up in the camera department. Talk to me about your particular job in the team. What do you do? How does it fit with everyone else?
So the main job that everyone will probably notice is the board.
So you're in charge of this?
I'm the one that puts this on, or got an even smaller one.
A baby one?
Baby board,
Look
which
at that.
everyone loves.
Yeah, that is
every
cool.
time that comes out.
So since we're on the clappers, talk to me about what I've got to do then. Because sometimes I've seen you clapping, I've also seen you clapping upside down.
That's an end board, so you can have a front board and an end board.
Right.
If they see this upside down, that's the end of the clip.
Right.
And if they see it that way, they know it's
the
going to be
start.
the start of the clip.
Okay, makes sense. The clapperboard is an iconic bit of kit and is crucial on any TV and film set.
Yes.
The moment it is closed is captured by both the camera and the microphones and is used by the editor to match up the pictures and sound.
Or a sounded one.
If you come in and know nothing about films or telly, everybody knows about the board.
Yeah.
So you're in charge of it?
That is me. We've got two cameras on the job all the time.
Yeah.
So Sarah will have one who's on the A camera team, and
Yeah.
I've got one for the B camera.
Right.
Hey, Arthur.
And so how does this job differ from what I was doing last time? You were obviously started off as a camera trainee, right? And you're working
Yeah.
your way up.
So you've got a bit more responsibility. You
Yeah.
assist the focus pullers a lot more.
Right.
With putting lenses on, changing filters and stuff.
Yeah.
And putting cards in the camera.
All right, so but I know that sounds simple, but that's really important, isn't it?
Yes.
That's where they, like, all the stuff gets recorded on
Yeah.
and everything. So if you do that wrong,
You
then...
might have to redo the whole day.
Which would cost a
Yeah,
fortune.
so don't do that.
Yeah, so you're putting, like, lenses, and those lenses...
Yeah.
I mean, we got one here, like, that's worth a lot of money, isn't it?
So don't drop them either.
Did you always think, oh, I wanted to work with cameras?
I want to be an operator, so...
Yeah, so
I've
you're
always-
working, that's the goal, is it?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. And so, but you've got to go through these steps to get to that point.
Yeah, you don't have to, but I think it's better to because you understand all the roles on the camera department a bit more.
Yeah. As a clapper loader, one of the main jobs is to mark up the clapper board with the correct information for the scene that is being shot.
So I've got the date, obviously.
Yeah.
The scene then goes in there, so we're on episode 4,
Yeah.
scene 19 and 20, and then whatever slate we're on there will go there, takes goes there.
Can we dry run this?
Yes. 550 is next.
550.
Yeah.
And say now take
Bit-
1.
I'd say it's a bit too small.
Oh, would you go bigger?
I'd go a bit bigger than that.
Okay. Oh,
550. There we are. Perfect.
so you'd walk out in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Hold that there.
Always have the sticks already open though.
Sticks already open.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe not that open.
Okay, no, that. So sticks a little bit
That-
open.
yeah, that's fine.
So I walk out, hold this in front of the camera,
And then you sound speed.
and then I clap.
No.
No, then I say slate, 550.
You don't have to say slate
Okay,
either.
just say the numbers.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good tips. This is good. 550, take 1.
And then I'll pretend to be the focus puller and say, mark it. There you are.
And then I walk off.
And then get out of there.
Just 2 numbers.
Yeah.
The slate, the number. What could
go wrong?
What indeed? I'm heading on to set where Evangeline is handing me over to Sarah for my clapper debut. First things first, the slate and the take number.
551 next.
How big do you go?
Big, as big as you can. So it's easy to read for the editors. That's beautiful.
Look at that. Beautiful. There we are.
Beautiful.
And then we're saying take 1, right?
Yeah, take 1. You're first up.
Next, where am I supposed to stand?
So I'm 5 foot.
Yeah, you're 5 foot.
So my wingspan is 5 foot. So if you were about, say here,
Here,
would be
okay,
fine.
fine.
And then
So-
a cheat is if you look down the lens,
Yeah.
you can see your own reflection.
Oh, there he is.
So you want to be about here.
There.
Yeah.
Same.
But you look silly looking down the lens.
Yeah,
everyone can
I
see
mean,
you.
I've made myself look plenty silly loads of times. So that's fine.
Right, time to do this thing.
There.
No pressure.
I'm starting to get a little bit nervous because there's a lot of people now relying on this to work. So I'm going to be there. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
Are you all right with that?
It certainly is.
And I want to do it much louder than that.
That's fine.
Are you happy with that?
You can go bigger.
Do you reckon go bigger than that?
Yeah,
you happy
way
with that?
Bigger. Yeah.
There we are. Okay, fine. Just checking that you're comfortable with that, so we're all on the same page.
We're about to go for a take.
I don't mind admitting,
Here we go then, please. Thank you. Yep. Rolling, please.
I'm clapping my pants right now.
So to speak.
551, take 1.
Beautiful. Oh,
I think I might have nailed that first time. Right, yeah, so that was it. Just on my clapping, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm very pleased, I'm very relieved, and a tiny little bit smug that it went so well. Because let's be honest, the last time I was with the camera department, it was a disaster. This is much better. Clapperboards, the way forward. End board.
Okay, lock it down outside then, please. Lock it down, nice and quiet everywhere. I'm set.
If, like me, you were floored by the Conrad plot twist,
We are think tank.
I think we can put that down to a brilliant script and Jonah's fantastic performance. But be honest, how long did it take you to figure it out that these shriek were in fact fake shriek?
They're not shriek.
Got ya. Throughout the history of Doctor Who, the show has worked hard to make sure the aliens and creatures don't just look like people dressed up in rubber suits. Mostly succeeding, but sometimes perhaps not.
People always talk about Doctor Who, they talk about shaky sets and rubber monsters. You know, in the 70s there was very much that kind of feel. There was it was a low budget feel.
However, for this red-eyed, creepy creature, the design team at Millennium FX were challenged with a slightly different approach.
It's kind of an odd thing where you're building a rubber monster and then someone says, right, build a rubber monster of the same rubber monster, but it's a rubbish rubber monster, and that one's real and this one's a bit rubbish. So it's like, how rubbish is it? And at the same time, it's still got to look like it can pass for real within the story. So that was actually really difficult to nail how that worked.
For the real Shriek suits, Neil and his team used the same high-tech they would normally employ. The design was sculpted in clay on a 3D print of the actor's head and body. Fiberglass molds were then cast from the clay and injected with silicone, and finally painted by hand. The real Shriek was then crowned with its own animatronic head.
So I got some eyelids that can make him blink. He can get dizzy. Whoa. This is kind of as soft as he can get. This is kind of 0.
Yeah.
And this is kind of 100.
Wow.
It's gross and gorgeous.
Yes, at the
I
same
think.
time.
Yeah.
For the fake Shriek, they really had to put their heads together.
We got the final design and we got a sculptor in and let him look at it once and just went, there it is. Right, you have a few hours to sculpt that from memory. And what that meant is he ended up just hitting the main points, but all the detail was kind of lost. So it was someone's impression of the Shriek. Then for the fake Shriek's head, we just went with older processes. So it was a clay sculpture, a plaster mold, and just stiff latex rubber. So it moves like an old rubber mask, because it is an old rubber mask.
For a cosplay costume, they're amazing. That's got to be difficult though, hasn't it, really? Like, how do you make something look bad, but it's still got to look really good? That's quite a challenge, I think, for Millennium. But they nailed it, again.
The next step was to work out how the two different types of Shriek would move.
And we've cut there, thank you. Hello.
Movement's always an important thing. You can build this fabulous looking thing, and if it can't move, it sort of loses impact. For the fake Shriek and the real Shriek, you're trying to get that movement different. So when you see the real Shriek, you don't feel it's a human being in a suit, but when you see the cosplay one, that's one of the giveaways. It is people wearing a rubber outfit.
It's always strange chatting to someone in this sort of get-up, I'm not going to lie to you. So I don't know what it's like being that person.
Well, I mean, this particular suit kind of feels like wearing a full-body resistance band.
Oh, does it? So you're working really hard?
Yeah, to do that. Sort of, the whole thing is just trying to pull me in like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just really warm, which is handy because it's winter.
It's November, it's Cardiff, it's freezing.
Yeah.
When you read The Shriek and you realised a lot of this was going to be on all fours, were you thinking, yes, or were you thinking, oh gosh, that sounds like a lot of hard work?
No, I like crawling's not too bad. It's quite fun. And we came up with different versions of the movement before we had finalised on the creature. So in a way, we came up with it. And it's like I'm my own worst enemy. So every time we're like, oh, I could do this. It's more difficult, but it looks better.
Yeah.
And then you get a note and I go, I need to make it more difficult. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
Stop doing this to yourself.
Just go with the easy one.
Yeah.
What's it like performing this blind? Because you are you can't really see much. When the mouth's closed, you can't see anything.
The mouth is closed, I pretty much can't see anything.
Right.
So in here, I've got a little earpiece.
Yeah.
And Paul.
So you've got Paul in your ear?
If I can't see what I'm doing, he's like going, turn left, a bit more left, head up. Okay, cool, now walk forward 3 steps.
And it's definitely teamwork. Yeah. Between myself, Gethin and Rachel, who's puppeteering the face. Yeah, it's all teamwork.
So how about a demonstration then?
That is actually really freaky. I'm going to go this way. You carry on. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, gosh.
On the next episode of Doctor Who.
Watch Doctor Who Unleashed on the Doctor Who YouTube channel.